everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is episode 1 of the Disney Diaries series. If you are new here, hi, my name is Heather. I created this YouTube channel last year just to share a little bit about my life. I've always loved video recording, editing. I'm a photographer. I love doing all the things content wise, and if you saw my last video, you would know that I had briefly touched on the idea of me starting a Disney Diaries. And essentially all that is I make a video that has something to do with Disney, something to do about planning, or just our trip in general, something along those lines. Well, today I am making our first ever episode, and in celebration of this being our first episode, I have got my bevy. Well, technically I have 2 bevies because hydration and dehydration at the same time. I always get a caramel coconut latte from Dunkin'. It has 4 pumps of caramel swirl, 3 pumps of coconut, 4 pumps of liquid cane sugar, and 4 things of cream. I have gotten this without cream in it because I am lactose intolerant, but I think it tastes the best with cream in it. I just deal with the consequences later. So that is what we're drinking today. We are going to go ahead and get started in this video. I promise this video is going to be a lot more organized than my last one. I promise. So let's get into it. So the theme of this episode is going to be your 30-day mark before your trip. If you have never been on a Disney trip, or if this is the first trip you've ever planned going to Disney, congratulations. Start getting excited. You are now 1 month away from your trip. I believe our trip, we are 28 days away from our trip. So I created this list at roughly the 30-day mark. Today in this video, I'm just going to share a little bit about what I do to prepare planning wise and some things to help get me excited for our vacation. So starting out with the first little section, we're going to be talking about planning. I am a huge planner. I've always been a planner. I'm very type A. So with that being said, all of these things are obviously optional, but things I do to help keep me organized and keep track of everything that we're doing on our vacation, because it can seem overwhelming when you go if you are not prepared for the trip. There have been in the past where I haven't been as organized, and not to say that it was terrible, but it was definitely more on the chaotic side because I didn't know how to use the app. I didn't know how to really fluctuate my day and schedule my day, so it didn't feel like everything was such a rush. But now that I've gone plenty of times, I've kind of gotten on to the hints of how to kind of organize my time. So a lot of that has to do with planning, like I said. So some of the things that I will do starting 30 days out, the first thing I will do is start drafting my outfit planning and ordering needed items. So in my case, we typically go during the summer. I think there have only been like 2 or 3 times where we haven't, and we've gone either in the wintertime or in the early spring, so it can be still a little chilly. However, where I currently live, it is, I want to say 75% of the time, it usually is cooler. This year, not so much. Over the summer, it's been insanely hot outside. I just don't have very many shorts or short sleeve shirts or tank tops or athletic dresses. So each time I go on a trip, I like to assess what I have, what I can wear, what I plan on wearing, and if there's anything that I need. And if you've seen any of my other previous videos, you would know that I typically will do some sort of like outfit planning prep video, and I can show you all how I plan my outfits when I'm packing. However, at my 30-day mark, all I'm doing is the most basic, like I liked this outfit, I'd like to bring this outfit again, or I saw on Instagram someone wearing this outfit, so I'd really like to purchase that outfit, whatever it may be. But the 30-day mark is typically where I will start doing those things, just to make sure that things can be shipped on time, then I can get it in the mail you get the point. Kind of a side conversation to that as well. So I have eczema and I absolutely love the shampoo, conditioner, body wash that's at Disney. However, it's just not my favorite, and it does tend to dry out my skin, and I have very thick hair, so I have to use a lot of shampoo and conditioner to make sure all of it is washed without it getting greasy. So with that being said, I like bringing my own. So just as an example for my toiletries, and I'll share everything here, something like loofah, you can get like a small loofah for $1 at Walmart. Typically Emily and I will get the 2-pack and use those for the week that we're there. So a loofah, shampoo, conditioner, body wash, makeup wipes. I normally don't wear makeup. I know in my last video I did. It was just the day I felt like I had energy to be able to do my makeup, but 9 times out of 10 I normally don't, as you can see. But when we have nicer dinners or when we have any sort of planned events with friends, I try to look a little nicer. So makeup wipes, and then little small hair bands, like the little elastics. I normally have a bunch of them and my hair is just thick, so I go through them very frequently, and I need more because they kept breaking. So that is the first thing that I will do on my 30 days out. The next thing I will do is start to create an itinerary. So basically all that is coming up with what am I doing on each day and what outfits do I want to wear. That will help me later on in the packing process be able to visualize what exactly I want to wear for what, which is super, super helpful. It will also help you keep all of your information into one thing, which the Disney app does help with this, but there have been times in the past where either we go to a different park, like outside of the Disney bubble, or like, for example, this is just an example, we are going to the cake bake shop one of the days that we were there. However, I wasn't able to get a cake bake shop reservation on the Disney app. I just got it on Open Table, I think that's what it's called, and I have to keep track of that because I will not have it in my Disney app to reflect what I'm doing that day, and if I'm just using my Disney app, I'm going to forget that that reservation exists. So all of that being said, an itinerary that you can create is very important, just so that you can get an idea of what you're doing each day and just to keep your days somewhat organized. Obviously, at your 30-day mark, you're not going to know everything. You're likely going to know more things the week before, because that's when you'll do your lightning lanes and any last-minute reservations if you have them. The next thing is begin to organize transportation. Now, I just mean, at least for me, we like flying into the Sanford airport. It is a lot cheaper, and then the airport, the smaller airport near us, is a lot closer than the nearest international airport and a lot cheaper. So we'll fly into Sanford, Orlando. There aren't very many transportation options. Minivans don't go out there. Mirrors transportation doesn't go out there. So we usually either call an Uber or a Lyft, and that's typically what we'll take. So around this time, I like to organize transportation, figure out how much I think our ride is going to be. I remember when our ride from Sanford used to be like $60, and now it is usually over $100. So it's definitely a pricey option. The next thing is order magic bands. Emily and I have already done this. I typically order magic bands for each trip that we go on, and I know that sounds like a lot, but genuinely I think it's in a weird way like a keepsake from that trip. I can look at a bunch of my magic bands and remember all the things that we've done on that trip and which trip I got it for, and I don't know. It's just a keepsake. I really love it. And you can reuse it for your other trips. You can plan it around outfits. So we've already ordered ours. I won't show them in this video only because I kind of want them to be a surprise for when we are packing. But anyways, I always recommend getting them at your 30-day mark so that you know that you have them on time, and so that you have enough time to be able to have more selection, because the pre-arrival magic bands that are usually on discount are not all of them. So just keep that in mind. The next one is making prep appointments. Now, this is not a necessary step, but for myself, it is. I like getting my nails done, I like getting my hair done, and in this case, I really lately have liked getting like sprays, so I tan incredibly easily, but there's just no rhyme or reason for me to be wearing tank tops all the time. If I lived back in Orlando, I wore tank tops all the time and I was always in a bathing suit. So I never really had to worry about intense tan lines, but now I get to, because now I have farmer's tan lines. So I like doing a quick spray before a trip so that everything looks super even, and I don't necessarily have to worry about my farmer's tan lines when I'm at the park wearing a tank top or an athletic dress, whatever it may be. Then the last section of what I like to do in my 30 days out is obviously what I do to count down. Now, obviously on your Disney app, you will have how many days until your trip, all the things. However, there are some things that I like to do to kind of get me excited for the trip. So the first thing is magical escapes on YouTube. 9 out of 10 times I end up just falling asleep to them, but I've heard other people also like to use that as like background noise while they're doing things or whatever it may be. It's essentially like different ambiances, like different resorts, different parks, different times of year. I think it's great, and that's what I use to help get me a little excited about it. The next thing is Disney movies. So my favorite thing to do is to watch movies somewhat based on the theme of the resort I'm staying at. Our upcoming trip, we are staying at 2 different resorts, and the themes of those 2 different resorts are going to match the kind of movies that we're watching. So I've been doing that. And then obviously Disney vlogs. Who doesn't watch Disney vlogs when they're getting ready to go on a trip? I turn into like a maniac. I watch the check-in days, I watch the room tours, I watch the entire vlog series. Sign me up. And that is what I do. That is pretty much all I had for this video. If you all can think of anything else that you all like doing on your 30-minute day mark, let me know, because I think the 30-day mark is when I start getting incredibly excited. I think leading up to that, I am just kind of stressed out because I want to make sure I have all the things. I just like get stressed out about work and like other things, and I think as soon as it hits the 30-day mark, it makes it a lot more real. So that is kind of what we do on the 30-day mark. If you all liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on that post notification bell, because I do not post on a regular schedule. If you are new here, I basically went on a very long hiatus and chopped it up to me just wanting time to do things that I wanted to do, and filming and editing just wasn't that for a little bit. So I don't have a consistent schedule, and I definitely post when I feel like it. So in order to watch the rest of my videos, please turn on the post notification bell, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!